Under the wide Georgia sky, where the air smells faintly of fresh hay and morning dew, stands a farm that's anything but ordinary. This isn't your average countryside getaway. This is the private sanctuary of hip-hop royalty, Nas. But don't be fooled by the tranquility. Every fence post, every blade of grass here is backed by a story. Stories of survival, ambition, and a career that redefined hip-hop. To understand how Nas went from Queensbridge rooftops to owning this southern slice of paradise, we have to go back to the gritty streets where young Nasir Jones first learned how to turn struggle into poetry. Born on September 14, 1973, Nasir bin Oludara Jones had music in his blood. His father, Oludara, was a jazz musician, and his mother, Fanny Ann Jones, a postal worker. Music and hard work were his inheritance. But so were the sounds of sirens, street corner hustles, and the unfiltered reality of life in the projects. As a kid, Nas was more of a street scholar than a classroom one. At 13, he dropped out of school, but that wasn't the end of his education. It was the beginning of a different kind. The turning point came in 1991 when he appeared on Main Source's track Live at the Barbecue. His verse was electric, sharp, confident, and poetic. It was the first crack in the door to the music industry. Then, in 1994, at just 20 years old, Nas released Illmatic. Critics called it a masterpiece. The New York Times labeled him the poet of hip-hop, and Rolling Stone would later hail it as one of the greatest rap albums ever made. For a kid from Queensbridge, this was a coronation. But the road wasn't all red carpets. The late 90s saw Nas navigating label politics and a bitter feud with Jay-Z. In 2001, that tension exploded into the legendary diss track, Ether, a lyrical nuke that not only reignited his career, but cemented his place in rap history. But beyond the mic, Nas was learning another game, the business game. Through his venture capital firm, Queensbridge Venture Partners, he made early investments in tech startups. While other artists were fading, Nas was cashing in on deals with companies like Ring, later bought by Amazon for over $1 billion, and the crypto giant Coinbase. And those smart plays led him here, to Decatur Farm. The first thing you notice is the sheer size. The property sits on multiple acres of lush, rolling land, a countryside escape, and a music mogul's dream playground. The main house is an elegant Southern-style home. Step inside, and the vibe is an instant surprise. The interior isn't celebrity excess. It's warm, lived in, and functional. Hardwood floors flow through spacious rooms filled with art.
The kitchen, let's just say it's the kind of place that could convince a New Yorker to learn Southern recipes. High-end appliances blend seamlessly with rustic farmhouse details. Outside, the farm becomes its own universe. There are fully operational stables, gardens, and a barn that looks like it belongs in a coffee table book. From East Coast grit to West Coast luxury, Nas's car collection reflects his journey. For him, the Cadillac Escalade isn't just a ride, it's a moving throne, big, bold, and unapologetically American. Then there's the BMW M3. But not just any M3. Nas's is a striking purple, light on its feet, but packed with precision engineering. It's his outlet for pure driving pleasure. But the crown jewel is his 1988 AMG Mercedes 190E. This isn't just a vintage car, it's a piece of history, an icon from the era that shaped him. So how does it all add up? Through music royalties, especially since he smartly negotiated for ownership of his masters, sold-out tours, brand endorsements with giants like Hennessy, and his legendary tech investments, Nas has built an empire worth an estimated $80 million. But Nas's story isn't just about profit, it's about purpose. He pledged all royalties from his album with Damian Marley, Distant Relatives, to charities in Africa. He established the Nasir Jones Hip Hop Fellowship at Harvard University. And he's a dedicated supporter of programs that teach music production to inner-city youth. From the concrete canyons of Queensbridge to the rolling hills of Georgia, Nas has crafted a life on his own terms. He's more than a rapper. He's a poet, an investor, a father, and a philanthropist. His homes aren't just symbols of wealth, they're symbols of a journey fueled by resilience, vision, and the unbreakable belief that the world is yours. If you enjoyed this journey into the life of a legend, hit that like button, subscribe to Untold Bars for more real stories from the culture, and let us know in the comments which icon we should cover next.